Hello everyone, and a very good morning to all of you, and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all exams. So as we all know, from Monday to Thursday 11 a.m. in the morning, we come up with the Hindu analysis, and today is Wednesday 21st February, and we are here with the Hindu analysis of 21st February. So if I am audible and visible, just write in the comments, yes sir, you're audible. अगर मेरी आवाज आ रही है, am I audible? Okay. So let's start with an important article. This is an article: Supreme Court declares Aam Aadmi Party leader as mayor of Chandigarh. This we'll be discussing. Then here is an article: Maharashtra Assembly clears 10% Maratha quota. So these two articles we'll be discussing. Let's start with this one. I hope you are aware. Actually, what happened was in the election for mayor in Chandigarh. Actually, there is an allegation against Mr. Anil Masih, the returning officer. Actually, that he defaced some of the ballot, and because of which actually the Supreme Court was not happy, and so Supreme Court said that the officer concerned actually favored one political party and all, and that is why the Supreme Court asked why did you put X mark and all. So what happened was the Supreme Court on Tuesday said it would not tolerate subterfuges that destroys electoral democracy even at the local level. So ये मेयर का इलेक्शन तो लोकल लेवल पे होता है ना, मींस एक तो पार्लियामेंट लेवल इलेक्शन हुआ, एक लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का इलेक्शन हुआ, है ना, and the last one is the urban local bodies के लेवल पर. Mayor election is actually urban local bodies and a part of that. So while declaring Aam Aadmi Party's Kuldeep Kumar as the mayor of the Union Territory of Chandigarh. So a 3-judge bench led by Justice BYJU'S initiated action against Anil Masih. So in fact, the Supreme Court has said that actually the action they have taken action against this person, officer, the returning officer. So the case will be initiated against him, against the returning officer, because he actually did defacement of 8 ballot and all, and in favor of BJP's Manoj Sankar. So that is what you should be knowing it. And Chandigarh mayor polls. Supreme Court orders criminal prosecution of returning officer Anil Masih. So the case has been initiated against him. And after that, actually just before the hearing, the BJP leader who got elected as the Chandigarh mayor, he resigned, and after the actually judgment, the new mayor is from Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Kuldeep Kumar actually has been declared as the winner, because all those 8 ballots which were actually crossed were considered as valid votes after the Supreme Court order. So when the recounting was done, actually from Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Kuldeep Kumar won the mayor election. Okay, so just have an idea, na? So by declaring Mr. Kumar Chandigarh in a single stroke and all. So these are the things, na? And CGI said we are deeply concerned about the horse trading taking place. You understand horse trading? Horse trading means actually what we call it as defection, right? So MPs or MLAs moving from one side to the other. That's called, let's say you join a political party. After becoming MP, MLA or ward councillor, you join any other political party. So let's say you got elected from party X, and after becoming MP, MLA or ward councillor, you join some other, let's say Y political party. So this is called as defection or horse trading, and this is considered as unethical in a democracy, right? So that is what you should be knowing it. And the Supreme Court said that the court is duty bound in exercise of the power to do complete justice under Article X to ensure that the process of electoral democracy is not thwarted by subterfuges. What is X? So these are the options: A, B, C, D. So please read the question. This is a question and answer it. This question I have taken from the same article. The Supreme Court ने कहा है कि we are duty bound to do complete justice under Article X. So the word complete justice is mentioned in which article? And this article gives Supreme Court immense power to ensure that the process of electoral democracy is not thwarted by subterfuges. मतलब ये हुआ कि मेरे पास इतना पावर है, मतलब हम इस आर्टिकल यूज कर रहे हैं ताकि इंसाफ दिलाने के लिए, ताकि कोई भी डेमोक्रेसी का जो पार्ट है वो डेमोक्रेसी जो है उसको मतलब गलत तरीके से उसको चेंज नहीं किया जाए या थॉट नहीं किया जाए, यानी डेमोक्रेसी को डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं किया जाए. So yes, what is the right answer? Article 142. So B is the right answer. So please go after the class is over, read Article 142, and this talks about complete justice, doing complete justice. ठीक है, तो ये आप जरूर पढ़िएगा. Yes, Rishi Kumar Jha, you are right. B is the right answer to this question. So if you are watching this class, go to the description box. Here is one-on-one counseling session. Ka link is there. So click on this link. and you will get this Google form, and everyone should fill this Google form. That would be very, very beneficial for you. Okay. On the first page, there was another article, Maharashtra Assembly clears 10% Maratha quota. That is what it says. The Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra has passed a bill which will provide 10% reservation to Maratha community in education and government jobs. And which was passed unanimously, means all the MLAs voted in favor of that 10% reservation should be given to Maratha community. Okay. Legislation fulfilled the promise to create a foolproof Maratha quota within 3 months, Mr. Shinde, the Chief Minister, said. However, Manoj Jarange Patil, he is the person who is actually protesting for Maratha reservation. Okay, he's an activist. You can see this person. He is actually protesting for Maratha reservation, but he is not happy with this bill. He is actually on multiple hunger strike on this issue that Maratha reservation should be provided, but he said it is a betrayal of the community, because he says that Maratha community reservation should be carved out from within the OBC, which is more likely to pass Supreme Court scrutiny. मतलब इनका ये शायद कहने का मतलब है कि उसी जो 27% OBC का रिजर्वेशन है उसी में से देना चाहिए. मतलब that is what he is saying, because if you are passing separate 10% reservation would be given, then most likely the Supreme Court will strike it down. Okay. So the bill passed by the Legislative Assembly is similar to the Socially and Educationally Backward Act on 2018, which was struck down by the Supreme Court in May 2021. हुआ ये था, आपने ये वाला देखा होगा. This is an article from May 2021. Violates right to equality. Supreme Court strikes down Maratha reservation in jobs and education. तो हुआ ये था कि Supreme Court ने ये कहा था, 2021 की बात है. So similar type of bill was passed earlier also to provide reservation for Marathas, but this was struck down by Supreme Court. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट इसको स्ट्राइक डाउन कर दिया था. So that is why he is saying that the reservation, the separate, if you are providing the separate reservation bill, then maybe again the Supreme Court will strike it down. So that is what you should be knowing about it. Okay, just before moving on, download our app, go to CLAT section. On 25th February at 6 PM, we'll be having a session with Nivedita ma'am, time management tips for CLAT and boards. And then on 28th February at 6 PM, we'll be having a session, 5 steps to ace CLAT 2025. Okay, so do watch it. Download our app, go to CLAT section, click on this, talk to our counselor. You will get to know more about our courses. And this is 2025 course, comprehensive course, 380 plus hours of live session, 300 plus recorded videos, etc. If you have any query, call on this number. 2024 test series से related पूछना है, इस पर call कीजिए. Now the next one is the real threat to the India as we know it. So this article has been written by Mr. M.K. Narayanan. He's a former national ex-NSA of India, ex-IB director, ex-governor of West Bengal. Okay, so he's having a lot of posts in the past. He has taken a lot of posts. So he's talking about it. The 17th Lok Sabha, वही जो 2019 से 2024 तक, this is we are talking about, is about to end, है ना? And we'll be having a new election. So the final session of the parliament, unfortunately proved as divisive, and also this is talking about the budget session, है ना? Where both put allegation on each other. So these are the things being talked about. Fair. So he's talking about the Constitution of India is one of the best, है ना? A written constitution in the world, and which talks about the different articles, fundamental right, fundamental duty, DPSP. So he's saying that our constitution is one of the best, which has provided for fundamental rights, directive principle, fundamental duties, many other things. Looking at the current decline in parliamentary practices, people, however, worry whether election can be whether parliament can be dependent upon to sustain a stable democracy in the future. So basically saying that yes, कुछ decline in parliamentary practice, जैसे sittings, number of sittings have got declined, number of sittings. So earlier people used to sit more, number of sittings in Lok Sabha has declined. Then debates, both healthy debates sometimes नहीं होता है, start putting allegation, counter allegation and all. So these are the things the author is talking about. The global political environment may be murky, but India has been hardly impacted adversely, notwithstanding the ongoing war in Ukraine, turmoil in West Asia and other similar tension. देखो world level पे if you talk about, since last 2 years you see from February 2022, like we have seen Russia invading, Russia-Ukraine war. Then the author is talking about West Asia crisis. यहाँ पर India, this is West Asia. So I hope you are aware, in West Asia here you will find Israel. So Israel-Palestine conflict is happening. So here the West Asia you will find instability and all. So despite these things, still the political environment as far as the global political environment may be murky, but it has very few impact on India. It has impacted, but not that much, है ना. In fact, even our immediate neighbor is embroiled in internal problems and all. Okay, so Pakistan में बहुत सारे internal problems are there, corruption, economy, terrorism and all. So the internal dynamics no more are problematic, but India has more fortunate of late to be spread of facing major terror attacks and all. There are quite internal few security challenges. So बहुत सारे internal security challenges are there. Okay, then yes, this is talking about the farmers' agitation. It has potential to turn into a prairie fire if it is not handled properly. अब देखो prairie fire क्या होता है? First you have to understand what is prairies. So these are grasslands. You will find it in North America. Grasslands in North America. Okay, तो कहाँ पर है? So here is India. This is USA. और ये Canada है. तो ये वाला जो है ना, यहाँ पर आपको you will find prairies. तो इसमें क्या बहुत बड़े-बड़े grassland होते हैं. ठीक है. Now what happened is actually they are saying कि अगर इसमें आग लगेगी, अगर बड़े-बड़े grassland में if there is forest fire, it will actually cause heavy damage to the forest. थोड़ा सा आग लगेगी पूरा फैल जाएगा. I mean, so the probability of spreading the forest spreading to a large area is very high. So prairies fire का मतलब ये होता है कि if it is not handled properly, then of course the fire will catch the entire region, or fire might spread very fast in a very large area. Okay, so that's the idea. So the author is saying if it is not handled properly, maybe it may cause many damage, or it may actually the thing might actually get bad and all. So that is what the author is talking about and all. Now then the author is talking about the PM Modi has talked about the north-south divide and all. So yes, we have to ensure that yes, we should not get divided on the lines of north or south, or on the basis of religion, caste, gender, or something like that. So these are the things being talked about. Then he's talking about federalism. Federalism, you understand? It is a system where both center and state have constitutionally divided powers, right? And the state is not subordinate to the center. Both are working according to the constitution in their domain. So, but there are some cases actually on which the constitution makers place great sure is becoming a victim of this situation. तो कई बार federalism dilute हो जा रहा है. अब इतना detail नहीं जाना है. जैसे for example, if one nation one election will happen, then those who have opposed it, they have said that it might dilute federalism. Then many of the people, many have criticized GST for diluting federalism. So these are some of the things. ठीक है, the author is talking about. अब इसमें इतना detail नहीं जाना है. The next one is calm assessment. Now this is very important. Again, we have discussed it in last class about deemed forest, the concept given by Supreme Court in T.N. Godavarman case of 1996, right? So this is very important. This हमने बताया था ना yesterday. Use dictionary meaning of forest, Supreme Court tells center. Yes. So what is the dictionary meaning? So the dictionary meaning says a large area of land covered with trees and plants. है ना? अगर आप Merriam-Webster dictionary में जाओगे, it's written a dense growth of forests and underbrush covering a large tract. That's called as forest. ठीक है? तो Supreme Court ने ये कहा था कि you have to consider the dictionary meaning of forest. It means the thing is very simple. If there's a land, I mean, and this fulfills the dictionary meaning. So अगर डिक्शनरी कहती है कि फॉरेस्ट का मतलब ये होता है कि if a large tract of land is there and a lot of trees are there, so that's forest. But if the government has not officially declared as forest, but still it should be considered as forest, and इसको deemed forest का concept दिया गया था, that even if the government has not declared or officially this area is not declared as forest, but it fulfills the dictionary meaning, it should be considered as forest for Forest Conservation Act. Forest Conservation Act 1980 to protect the forest, है ना? यही main idea था, है ना? So yes, to check for the deforestation now. So the main purpose of this was this. तो ये हम लोगों ने कल discuss भी किया था, है ना? The dictionary meaning in code T.N. Godavarman case, है ना? So that is what we call it as deemed forest also. कि जो भी dictionary meaning अगर fulfill हो रहा है, that's called as deemed forest, है ना? The term forest had been given a broader meaning by the court than to preserve these green expanses irrespective of their nature, classification or ownership, है ना? So the adoption of this dictionary meaning is to align with the intent of the Forest Conservation Act. Means the intention of the Forest Conservation Act is to protect the forest, and a Forest Conservation Act, and that is why all those which are actually which fulfills the dictionary meaning should be considered as forest, है ना? ये सब मैंने कल yesterday we have discussed it, है ना? So I'm not going in that detail. So basically they are actually praising it. Has put a pause on ambitious effort by center to amend it and all, है ना? To check the unwanted raising of forest for non-forest activities. Because yes, this will help us protect the forest, है ना? And forest is very important. I hope you are aware. ठीक है. इंडिया का टारगेट भी दैट एटलीस्ट 33% ऑफ आवर लैंड शुड बी कवर्ड विद फॉरेस्ट. ठीक है. और अभी करेंटली कितना, आई थिंक 24.5%, 24 पॉइंट समथिंग परसेंट है ऑफ आवर लैंड इज कवर्ड विद फॉरेस्ट, बट आवर टारगेट इज दिस. सो वी हैव टू इंक्रीज द फॉरेस्ट कवर. तो इंक्रीजिंग फॉरेस्ट कवर से फायदा क्या होगा? सो इफ देयर विल बी मोर फॉरेस्ट, इट विल एब्जॉर्ब more carbon dioxide, and so it will cause reduction in greenhouse gas emission, and this will be helpful in fighting global warming, right? Okay. So there are many benefits. This is one of the benefit I have highlighted, but actually the forest is if we are having more and more forest, it has a lot of benefits, है ना? कई सारे benefit होता है. You must be aware of that, है ना? So that is what in the judgment since 28 years have passed and all, only a handful of states have constituted such committee. तो टी.एन. गोदावर्मन केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा भी था that we are not officially classified as such in government or revenue. States were asked to constitute a committee. So in 1996 when the T.N. Godavarman case came, it's almost 28 years, because if you add 28 years it becomes 2024. So in that T.N. Godavarman case, the Supreme Court has clearly said that what it said that the Supreme Court, the government should set up a committee to find such deemed forest. Means those who are forest but they are not declared as official forest, and now usko find out kare. But only a handful of states, only few states have actually set up such committee to find out those deemed forest and all. So these are the things being talked about. Having panchayats as self-governing institution. Now there's a question: which of the following constitutional amendment inserted provisions of Panchayati Raj in Constitution? 93rd, 73rd, 91st, 97th. What is the right answer? कोई बता सकता है? Anyone? Which of the following constitutional amendment inserted provisions of Panchayati Raj in Constitution? Okay, so the right answer is 73rd amendment. ठीक है. So ये तो आपको पता होगा. And 74th amendment brought provision of urban local bodies, है ना? Yes, Astha Vasti, you're right, very good. So B is the right answer. तो ये बात करें 3 decades have passed for, because 1992 के आसपास पास हुआ था ना, so almost 30 years have crossed, है ना? That 73rd and 74th Amendment Act came into effect, है ना? Ministry of Panchayati Raj, a separate ministry, was set up in 2004 to strengthen rural local governments, but still actually many states have are still lagging behind, है ना? In this grassroots level democracy इसको कहते हैं ना. The reason is the Panchayati earned only 1% of the revenue through taxes. तो उनका जो own revenue है, अपना जो revenue बहुत कम है. They get mostly from the governments and all, state governments and all. So 1% only they collect from themselves, है ना? So that is an issue that is being highlighted here. So the report by Ministry of Panchayati Raj on own source revenue, यानी अपने से, यानी Panchayati Raj is able to collect very small amount of tax. Most of them actually they get from state governments and all, है ना? Rural boundaries elaborate on the details of states that have incorporated tax and non-tax revenue that can be collected. So जैसे पंचायत क्या क्या कर सकती है? Property tax, cess on land revenue, surcharge and additional stamp duty, tolls, tax on profession, advertisement, user charges for water and sanitation, lighting, etc. तो ये सब पर पंचायत जो है वो टैक्स लगा सकती है ना. So these are the things being talked about. To earn its own, OSR मतलब own source revenue, यानी अपना revenue, own source revenue. Panchayats are expected to establish a conducive environment for taxation by implementation of appropriate financial regulation. मतलब ऐसा माहौल बनाया जाए, ऐसा environment हो ताकि taxation को implement करना आसान हो. So these are the things being talked about. The huge potential for non-tax revenue includes fees, rents, income from investment and all. So ये सब जो non-tax revenue है, यानी ऐसा revenue जिस लोग tax बिना tax ले भी revenue collection होता है ना पंचायत का. So these are then fees, rents, income from investment, sales and hires, charges and receipts and all. So ये सब पर भी पैसा लेगा. Then of course they can depend on CSR donation, corporate social responsibility. So big companies donating, that's called as corporate social responsibility. Don't take funds and all. So उसमें भी depend कर सकते हैं, है ना? So they can get fund from there also. Now they're talking about ग्राम सभा. तो जैसे हम लोग के पास लोकसभा होता है पार्लियामेंट में, we have विधान सभा. Vidhan Sabha means legislative assembly, right? Vidhan Sabha at state level. So in the same fashion in local level we have something called as Gram Sabha, right? where the local villages come, sit together, talk, and that is the main idea. The grassroots level democracy यही start होता है. When we say grassroots democracy, this is the best example of grassroots democracy, right? So they can be engaged in planning and decision making and implementing of revenue generated initiatives that range from agriculture and tourism to small scale industries. So these are the things being talked about. Now, since we are talking about it, the local self-government के father, who is considered as father of local self-government, which are the following viceroy? Yes, 11th schedule mentioned. Yes, Asta Basti, you are right. Father of local self-government किसको कहा जाता है? Anyone? Lord Mountbatten, Lord Ripon, Lord Lytton, Lord Cornwallis. What is the right answer? The right answer is Lord Ripon. So B is the right answer to this question. Okay? So ये पता होना चाहिए. You should be knowing it. Magna Carta of local self-government. He brought the concept. So B is the right answer. Yes, Safi Nomani, you are right. Now, एक साइड में आर्टिकल थी नेशनल सर्वाइकल कैंसर कंट्रोल स्कीम मस्ट बी मेड एक्सेसिबल टू ऑल. So basically, accessible to all means every woman should get benefit of this. Now, health is seldom unidimensional. It must not be, and it must not be such. Government policy, particularly, must fathom the entirety of the issue and assimilate multiple aspects in a field strategy and all. Look, first of all, you have to understand this, that in the interim budget was presented on 1st February. I hope you are aware. And the government has talked about providing vaccinations against cervical cancer for girls between 9 to 14 years. 9 to 14 years girls को cervical cancer के लिए vaccination should be provided. That's the main idea. It's talked in the interim budget, है ना? So why it is very important? There is a virus called as HPV, human papilloma virus, and this causes cervical cancer, and this is the second most common factor cancer among women, contributing significantly to the global burden of cervical cancer. Okay, so this you should be knowing about it. Okay, so just remember that second most common cancer among women in India is this cervical cancer, and this is caused by HPV. Okay, so iske liye there has to be vaccination program that is being in fact talked about in the budget. So cancer on the cervix, literally the neck of the womb, is unique among cancers because almost all the cases, 99% according to WHO, are linked to the infection of HPV, है ना? So जो cervical cancer होता है 99% is because of HPV. Okay, and it can be transmitted through sexual contact and all. So these are the things being talked about. Okay, second leading cause of cancer among related deaths among women. This is almost 77,000 women die every year because of this. Second most frequent cancer among women, so between 15 to 44 years of age. So these are the things being talked about. Ironically, cervical cancer can be easily diagnosed in a public health. तो बहुत आसानी से diagnose किया सकता है. It is not that much difficult. So in a small lab also, this can be checked and tested whether a person is suffering from cervical cancer or not. So ठीक है. Given that it is easy to prevent, identify and treat cervical cancer, it is unacceptable that so many are dying the disease. मतलब ये है कि आसानी से इसको treat किया जा सकता है. It's not that it is non-controllable, but yes, there is a provision where actually we can identify and treat cervical cancer, but still many people are dying it, and this is the cause of concern. That why we have the concept of vaccination and other programs, still why so many women are dying. So these are the things the author is talking about. है ना? ठीक है. Okay, so just इसको पढ़ लेना. The only way to prevent is to deploy entire assembly of tools, है ना? So that is, है ना? To create awareness, affordability, social status, means vaccination should be affordable, medicine, health, public health, device, medicine, all things should be affordable and all. Salik Nariman died recently. He was a very, very, very important. Anyone? Star mark this. For you, it is very, very, very important. In the upcoming exam, it will be asked. Journalist, lawyer, politician, judge. I think it died yesterday, I guess. Abhi news aa rahi hai. This news is coming in. He is a lawyer. He was almost 95 years of age. So I hope you are aware. This is very important news. In fact, his son, Justice R.F. Nariman, Rohinton Fali Nariman, was the former judge of Supreme Court, a retired Supreme Court judge. So his son also got retired as a judge of Supreme Court. So that is why it is very, very important. So B is the right answer. Not judge, lawyer. He was a lawyer. ठीक है. इनके बेटा judge थे, Supreme Court के judge. Initially his son was a lawyer, then became a judge. So but he was a lawyer. B is the right answer. Yes, Rishi Kumar sir, you are right. Please remember it. This is very, very important. अच्छा, एक homework है. Go and find out the books written by him. इन्होंने कुछ किताबें लिखी हैं, उनके नाम पता करना, because yes, this can be asked. Okay. So because he was very senior and all, 1995 years के आसपास के होंगे. Okay. 21st February is observed as what? Earth Day, International Mother Language Day, Biodiversity Day, World Environment Day. What is the right answer? 21 फरवरी को क्या ऑब्जर्व किया जाता है? प्लीज टेल मी, बिकॉज टुडे इज 21st फरवरी. ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट. यस, इंटरनेशनल मदर लैंग्वेज डे. यस, आस्था बस्ती, यू आर राइट. एंड व्हाट इज द थीम? कोई बता सकता है? Okay, now there is one more homework. Go and find out why we celebrate 21st February as International Mother Language Day. It is generally celebrated by UNESCO, but the reason बताना है कि why 21st February is celebrated as International Mother Language Day. So here B is the right answer. है ना? So the theme was multilingual education, a pillar of learning and intergenerational learning. Yes, Astha Basti, Safi Nomani, Rishi Kumar Shah, you are right. B is the right answer. ठीक है, ये theme है. ठीक है, so just have an idea. Then एक opinion page में article थे, making sense of electoral bond judgment through data. See, I hope you are aware, recently the Supreme Court struck down electoral bond. It has been very much in the news as unconstitutional, arbitrary and violative of Article 14. So 5-0, all the judges unanimously said that it should be struck down. Okay. इसमें था क्या? We have already discussed it. I hope you are aware. So actually it was the electoral bond में बहुत सारे arguments था. We are not going in that detail, but yes, it was struck down because the Supreme Court said it is violative of transparency. So if someone X is funding through electoral bond to a political party, let's say ABC party, so in electoral bond the people will not get to know the name of the person who is donating it. Okay, so it was considered as violative of transparency, that the people, the common citizen should know that ABC party is getting fund from X. So who is that X person? But this X person's identity was not revealed in case of electoral bond, and that is why one of the reasons was transparency. So why are farmers protesting again? So we have discussed about it already. Yes, it violates right to information. Yes, Astha Basi, you were right. So let's talk about farmers protest. So we have discussed it that first they are talking about guaranteeing MSP law, C2 plus 50 model पर, है ना? And C2 plus 50 MSP is given by MS Swaminathan, the father of Green Revolution in India. In fact, this year he has been given Bharat Ratna as well. I hope you are aware, है ना? Then debt waiver, implementation of Swaminathan Commission's recommendation to provide debt waivers, है ना? Then land acquisition, whenever land acquisition is done, they talked about, है ना? So इससे भी related कुछ है. They are talking about withdrawal from WTO. Then justice for Lakhimpuri Kheri massacre, है ना? So that is what they have written. Then pensions related, allocation of pension to farmers and farm laborers. Okay. Then they have talked, important is Manrega. So the 100 days Manrega is there. So it needs to be increased to 200 days. So guaranteed work in rural areas should be, the job should be increased from 100 to 200, and the daily wage should be at least 700 rupees. So these are some of the demands. We have already discussed in the past, but just have an idea. So compensation of life for loss of who died in 2020-21 agitation. So farmer protest पहले बार हुआ था, उसमें जो लोगों की डेथ हुई उससे related to compensation, they are demanding it. So these are the things they are demanding. Now quiz, daily quiz में था International Mother Language Day is on 21st February. So a daily quiz is there, and these are some of the questions. ठीक है. जैसे पूछा नेपाल का ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज क्या है. So these are the things, है ना. So please answer it in the comment section after the class is over, the answer to these questions. ठीक है. Now rules that edge out women from jobs due to marriage illegal, says Supreme Court. हाँ देखो अब क्या हुआ था कि एक मैटर था बहुत पुराना, it's 1988 मैटर. The matter is regarding 1988. Okay. So a former Lieutenant Selina John of military nursing service was removed from the service by the army. That is terminated on the grounds that she got married in April. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि कोई आदमी, अगर कोई लेडी है और वो जॉब कर रही है कहीं भी, एंड शी गॉट मैरिड, एंड आफ्टर दैट the company, or let's say the private company or military army or any other organization removed him from the service because she got married. This is a wrong reason. Okay, the Supreme Court has categorically said terminating मतलब stop, मतलब ending the contract, है ना, ending the job, उसकी नौकरी खत्म कर देना, इसलिए कि उसने शादी कर ली, औरत ने, ये बिल्कुल गलत है, इट्स ग्रॉस वायलेशन ऑफ इनइक्वालिटी, है ना. सो दैट इज व्हाट सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड, है ना. सो जब ऑर्डर पास किया गया था, then actually the matter went in 2016. John's release order was set aside by Armed Force Tribunal. So Armed Force Tribunal in Lucknow ने कहा था which director had to reinstatement with back wages. तो इनके जो हटाया गया था उनको ओवरटर्न कर दिया था, and the Armed Force Tribunal had said that no, she should be given back the job because she was removed in the wrong way. Then the matter went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court also said yes, we cannot remove a person, you cannot remove a person, a lady, just because she got married. This is the wrong reason. Terminating the employment because women got married is a coarse case of gender discrimination and inequality. मतलब जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी के अगेंस्ट है. अगर कोई मर्द है वो शादी कर लेता तो को रिमूव किया था, मतलब नहीं होता ना जनरली. सो दैट इज व्हाट द ऑथर इज सेइंग कि द जज इज सेइंग दैट नो, दिस शुडंट हैव हैपेंड एंड दिस इज रॉन्ग. ओके, यू कैनॉट, अ लेडीज जॉब कैनॉट बी टर्मिनेटेड जस्ट बिकॉज शी गॉट मैरिड. ठीक है. The next is US veto. बहुत सारे आर्टिकल है. This article 14 talks about equality before law. So this is violation of equality before law, है ना. US vetoes UN vote on Gaza ceasefire pushes alternative. So basically Algeria had introduced actually a resolution in United Nations Security Council to talk about immediate ceasefire in Gaza. However, this was blocked by vetoed by USA. Look, I hope you are aware. So these are actually the members of UN Security Council. Okay, so these are permanent 5 members and 10 non-permanent members. Okay, elected for 2 years. This means Algeria, it's a non-permanent member, so it initiated a resolution in UN Security Council to bring immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Immediately war ruk jaye. But USA, here is USA. This is actually, if either of the 5, I hope you are aware, these P5 nations have veto power. So if one of them say stop the resolution, it will be stopped. So the USA has actually stopped the resolution, saying that they should find some other alternative. That is what the USA has said. Okay, so this is all about today's class. Go in the description box. Here is one-on-one counseling session is there. Click on this link. You will get this Google form. Everyone should fill this Google form. And this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download the BYJU'S exam prep app. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.